We are live streaming this, so we would like to welcome you to our 2023 OCHS Fall Sports Award Ceremony. This program honors those who have committed their time and dedication as a student athlete and acknowledge their accomplishments. At this moment, we would also like to thank all. Please remember to be considerate and respectful during this recognition. If you have earbuds or your hood is up, it needs to be taken down and your earbuds need to be out of your ears. If you have a cell phone, it better be on silent and it better remain in your pocket. Okay, please give a round of applause to Mr. Bellinger, the head coach of the cross country team, and assisted by the head coach.
Okay, at this time I'll have the cross-country athletes come up for those members who are here. The way that any other coach is going to don't want that to happen, but it certainly probably will sometime. Jim Lohmeyer again. I want to thank Mrs. Harmon and I want to thank Kat Bellinger for helping us take our cross-country trip this year to Oklahoma. I am gone sometimes and not able to provide supervision at volleyball when I needed to because cross-country's at Rimrock or at Walmigo, and so I appreciate her stepping in and doing the supervision when I'm not able to. I want to thank Mr. Hessong, the school board, for allowing me to keep doing what I love to do. Everyone else that helped, I know there are a lot of things along the way. No, but we had a nice, small little fan group that came to the state meet and kind of cheered the girls on, and I do appreciate you guys that did that. So appreciate the support. Coach Faulkner, this is Coach Faulkner's first year with the program. Throughout the season, Coach Faulkner is in charge of taking care of all the sign-out sheets. Never do that. Leaving work early or coming in the mornings for practice, and so he stepped up a lot, and I appreciate what he did. One of the things that was probably most important to me was, like I said, he is not a cross-country guy. He is a baseball guy, and he told the kids one day that it was an eye-opener to see how hard that these kids work. You know, he didn't run cross-country, and I appreciate him just taking the effort and telling them from what he sees on a daily basis from what we do, so I appreciate him. I want to thank the parents of these athletes for all the things that they do. I appreciate seeing all the faces at meets and cheering the kids on. I want to thank you for helping with our fundraiser. We were able to team t-shirts like we normally do, shaved ice runs, I know, and it took care of some meals, and then obviously it took care of our trip to the NBA game in Oklahoma City, so that was pretty awesome, so I appreciate the parents. And most importantly, I would obviously like to thank the athletes. I want to thank them for making this an incredible season. Most of you probably know that my cross-country season didn't go perfectly. I had some personal issues that kind of took my attention away, but I'd love in more than half the meets, or you had other factors, you would letter. If you participated in some varsity meets, but not more than half, then you were provisional. And then if you did not participate in varsity meets, you would get participation today. So, for the boys, Julia Farrar, Roman Rummel, participation. Brody Thompson, provisional. Harrison Bailey, participation. Robert Jones, provisional. Daniel Shoemake, provisional. Mason Wordman, letter. Lana Pettigene, letter. Luke Kearns, letter. Luke Warner, letter. And Holton Vaughn, letter. And then to my senior boys, I've said over and over all year long that your efforts were not lost on me. I hope you know how much I appreciate your hard work and your dedication to this program. Colby Hokinson, letter. Colby's only been with us a short time, showed up every day and worked hard. Colby did an incredible job, even though one day he took 7 puffs off that puffer. I did find out that's not a good idea. Warren Lowry, letter. We, maybe not always to him, but we always used to call him Brother Hard. Got Brian Davies, letter. And Noah Lohmeyer, letter. Brian and Noah, they've been a part of our varsity teams for a while. I one of our rules, and is now known as the Duffy rule. So if you know, you know. And the girls. Gracie Hoganson, she lettered as manager. Dylan Reeves, lettered as manager. Harper Koenig, participation. Laurel Lowry, letter. Dallas Meek, letter. Jayden Bossy, letter. Emery Speed, she lettered. She was all league twice and a state qualifier twice. Gracie Smith, lettered. She was all league 4 times and a state qualifier twice. Allie and Gracie have been a part of some of the biggest things in cross country in their 4 years of high school. Both of them were part of our only league championship team. They have both been to state twice with the 2nd and the 3rd highest placings in school history. They have both put in a lot of hard work and a lot of miles in their time with the program, and I will certainly miss having them around. How about a round of applause for the kids? We have some adjustments. If you notice, Jayden Bossy improved her time at number 2 on the board from a 20:39 to a 20:20. And so most of these girls were at state last year where they got a 7th place finish, which at that point had been the 2nd best finish in school history for the girls. This year, for those of you that don't know, at the end of the state meet, I was jacked. I was so excited, and I was like, man, we did good. And I did this little elbow thing to Sadie, and I said, hey, how well do you think we did? She's like, I don't know. I was like, man, I'm stoked. You guys did so well. And the results came out, and we were in a 3-way tie for 8th place. And so I got on the horn, so I called Keisha, and then I called Kate. We did not tie for 8th place. Medalists, so they'll be all state first team because they were both in the top 10, and we're finishing in 9th, and Jayden finishing in 10th place overall. So give them another round of applause. With that, I think I just hosed somebody out of 30 seconds, so I've done my 13 minutes. So
thank you to our bus drivers, Dee, Sandy, Alan, Heather, for driving us safely to games. Thank you to the custodians for setting up our courts and getting our games ready. Thank you to Alberta Tate for line judging and Josie Garland for the scorebook. Thank you to all the parents for feeding the girls. Josie Garland was in charge of all the late feeding them, and then Jody Tillman and Tracy Lane organized all the tournaments. Thank you for the student section for coming to our home games. We only have 3, but you guys made a difference. And thank you to my assistant coaches, Coach Lohmeyer, Coach Giese. I couldn't ask for a better coaching staff. They've provided a lot of support to myself and the team throughout the season and spent countless of hours in the gym, which took time away from their families, so thank you again for that. And then lastly, thank you to the players for putting in hard work every day at practice and having a great attitude. So to start, I want to talk about each team a little bit. JV2 finished 12 and 6 this season. We had 34 girls out this year. It's one of the highest that we ever had. And there was quite a few on JV2. So they were working really hard to find spots to play. But they did fantastic this season and got better. One of their biggest accomplishments was going to 3 with Council Grove. I had a little incentive for the girls. Everyone had to stay till the games were over. And they were cheering them on. And they ended up pulling out that win in 3, which is pretty awesome. JV, they went ahead and finished 12 and 8 on the season. Their highlight was went to a tough Burlington tournament, and they played Topeka West. They They were down 8-12 in the third set, ended up losing just by 1, but much bigger team, but they showed a lot of heart and fight. We were proud of how well they did. And then for varsity, we finished 24-11. This is the best record that the volleyball team has had in 6 years. They started off winning the Burlingame tournament, then they finished first in regular season. That was the first time in 5 years. And then they won the league tournament for the first time in 13 years. As most of you know, we finished in sub-state last week at Hayden, who had dropped down from 4A. They were a tough team, but we competed and took them to 3. But overall, had a great season. Next, I want to talk about some stat leaders. So first in serving, the team was led in aces by Callie Lane with 32. And she was followed close behind by Julia Kitzman, who had 31. Serve receive, I'm going to kind of lump the next two together. Serve receive and digs was led by Emery Speaks. As you guys saw, she's a great cross-country runner, and this was her first time ever playing competitively, and she did a fantastic job as a libero for us this year. She had 428 passes, received, that many passes in serve receive, and only 20 errors on the season, plus had 337 digs, which put her 8th overall on our stat leaderboard that we have for volleyball, and 12th overall as most digs in a match with 22. Again, she was never played before and had that many digs and was second in the league overall. Setting was led by Callie Lane. She led our team with 670 assists, which is 4th overall in the stat leaderboard. She did become first on overall assists, career assists, with 1,988, and she also became first on the stat board for most assists in a match with 36, and that was the most in the league this year. Blocks on our team was led by Lexi Boss. She had 56 blocks, and she's on the stat leaderboard for 35 block assists in the season. And then lastly, we have Campbell Stark, who led us in hitting. Like that. She had 321 kills this season, which makes her 7th in the overall stat leaderboard for kills in the season. She also led the way in hitting and kill percentage, and she finished with 1,117 career kills, which anything over 1,000 is phenomenal, so very good. Before I do lettering, I do want to recognize all my girls that got all lead. So we have Lexi Fox, that honorable mention. We had Emery Speaks, which was second team libero. There's only one libero for each team, so that was very impressive. Julia Kitzelman, who was second team. And then we had Callie Lane and Campbell Stark, who were unanimous first team. All right, so now we'll do some lettering. So first off, I'm going to talk about the participants. So 2 claps when I say anything, you guys can get your certificate. So Brea Rixke, Brenna Bird, Tori Dorman, Haley Dunlap, Reagan Farwell, Kenna Guerin, Lillian Lomar, Chloe Martin, Hannah Peterson, Riley Staley, Sydney Strongram, Nikki Trego, Roz Williams, Ellie Boner, Mariah Gentry, Olivia Hastings, Zeta Spade, Kirsten Dayhawk, Tamia Waller, and then Allie Riley. She was our manager this year. As I catch up, I'll talk about a couple more. Our next one to get 2 claps for was Riley Farwell. Riley, one of our seniors, she started as a manager my second year here, and I remember meeting players, and I convinced her to go out. So I'm so glad I convinced her to make that her sophomore year, but she was a great leader and a good setter for our JV team. And the last one was Kaylee Boner. Again, Kaylee started with me on JV her freshman year, and it's been so fun to watch her improve and learn the game. Again, she was a good leader, a positive light on the JV team. One of my favorite memories of Kaylee is when she knocked her glasses off mid-game and just kept playing even though she couldn't see a thing. All right, now we'll do the girls that lettered. So I got Julia Kitzelman, Allison Sloop, Emery Spees, Addie Watson, Lexi Boss, Kira Davidson, and Riley Moon. All right, then I have some seniors that lettered. So the next one is Emery Lovett. Emery, I want to share this as well. Emery actually started when I was at ESU. She came to a volleyball camp and went every year while I was there at ESU. So it's kind of full circle that she ended up here in OCHS when I was here. It's been pretty special to watch her improve and learn the game. She was a phenomenal DS libero JV and even played some varsity DS time. So good job. Our next one, Emily Mullins. Emily was another one that I convinced to go out. She was originally a manager when she was younger. She was a very good middle and right side for us and did pretty much whatever the team needed. Was definitely our utility player this year. Georgia Kitzelman. Man, am I glad Georgia went out. She did not go out the last 2 years, and so she was a pleasant surprise for us. She ended up starting middle on varsity. She had 60 kills, 21 blocks, 11 aces, and 52. I started with Paige on JV when I was first assistant here. It's been awesome to see her grow. She's always been consistent, a positive leader on the court. I mean, she was voted as the team the best teammate. That just shows how positive she is. As you guys know, she was sidelined with appendicitis this year, but she did finish with 14 aces, 42 kills, 90 digs, and 12 blocks. Our next letter was Campbell Stark. Now, I've talked a lot about Campbell already, but she has been our leading attacker the last 4 years, even as a freshman. I did have to strong arm her bid to become an outside last year, but I feel like she eventually liked it. Like I said, she finished with 321 kills, had 27 blocks, 13 aces, and 97 digs. She had a season high 21 kills in one of the matches, which is just shy of her career high, which is 22 kills in a match. Yeah, she has left such a mark on all of our stats for hitting. She will definitely be missed next year. And then lastly, we have Callie Lane. Callie has been the starting setter the last 4 years. She was one of our team leaders. She ran the offense. She had 32 aces, like I said, 670 assists, 65 kills, which is very impressive for a 5'2" setter. And also she had 250 digs, which is second on our team, and 11 blocks. Callie had, like I said, a career high of 32 assists in one of the matches. She holds a ton of the records on the record board as well. Again, Callie will be missed so dearly. Obviously, she's my niece, so we started since she was like 10 years old. I coached her in club, coached Campbell as well in club. This senior group has been very special, and they will be missed dearly. But overall, I just want to thank one more time the team for everything they've done. I appreciate you letting me share the love of the game with you and just making it fun every day at practice and being you guys. So thank you. Coach Harmon is next. In golf.
The ladies that are up here right now, they have both the varsity and the JV squads for our girls golf program this year. We had 10 golfers complete the season. In total, the team competed in 13 regular season tournaments, and of those 13, our team finished in either first, second, or third in 8 of them. If I counted correctly, there were 78 medals awarded to this team this year between the team and individual finishes in the regular season, which is just awesome. In postseason, the team of Peyton Pitts, Emma Teal, Lindsay Davenport, Riley Pettigene, Maddie Bourne, and Dakota Boss finished in 4th place out of 15 at a super tough regional tournament, and then went on to the state tournament where the team finished 12th place in 3-2 and 1A. Since we have a relatively small team, I'm going to highlight just a few accomplishments for each player before awarding the letter. So, Leah Riemann. This was Leah's first year of golf. This year she was able to compete in 5 tournaments. Her best individual score was at Great Life North, where she shot a 61. So Leah will get a participation letter this year. Ava Palacio. This was Ava's second year of golf. This year she was able to compete in 6 tournaments. Her best score was in her last tournament of the season. She and Mallory were scramble partners, and they shot a 43 at Great Life North Topeka. So Ava will get a provisional letter this year. Addie Couch. Addie is a sophomore, and this is her second year of golf as well. Addie golfed in 6 tournaments total. 4 of them were JV, and 2 of them were varsity. Addie had several tournaments that stood out this year, but her most noteworthy was in Uniontown, where she took 5th place overall, and that was the very first tournament of the season for her. Addie will get a provisional letter this year as well. Mallory Patterson. This was Mal's first year golf. This year she was able to compete in a total of 6 tournaments. Her best score came from her very last tournament. It was a scramble, and she and Ava shot at 43. So Mal will get a participation letter this year. Peyton Pitts. This was Peyton's second year of golf as well. She participated in 8 tournaments, which is the max amount that any golfer can do. Plus, she was part of the regional team and the state team as well. Peyton really had an outstanding season. She finished in the top 10 in every regular season tournament that she attended, including not 1, but 2 first-place finishes this year. She was the champion at the OCHS City Invitational and the champion at the Rockville Invitational. Additionally, she had an outstanding postseason. At our regional tournament, she took 7th place overall. At state, she finished in 22nd, and just a reminder, it's 3-2 and 1A combined, so it was a huge tournament. After the season ended, she was named to the 2nd team in the Kansas Golf Coaches Association's all-state list. Peyton will get a letter this year. Dakota Boss. This was Dakota's 3rd year on the team. Dakota was able to golf in 8 tournaments, and she medaled individually in 3 of them. If there was an award for most improved average, it would be Dakota. She bumped her average down from last year by 7 strokes and was a consistent contributor on the varsity level this year after only seeing 3 varsity hoops last year. So there was lots of improvement there. Dakota was also part of both the regional and the state teams this year as well. Dakota will receive a letter. Emma Teal. This is Emma's 3rd year on the team as well. Emma competed in 8 tournaments this year and medaled individually in 2 of them. One of them being our home meet, where she placed 10th overall. Emma was also a part of both the regional and the state teams, so she will receive a letter this year. Maddie Bourne. This was Maddie's 3rd and final year on the team. She started as a sophomore. She competed in 8 tournaments. She had a really strong start to the season. She shot her PR out of the gate into the very first tournament of the year. She placed 13th overall in that tournament and was able to remain fairly consistent throughout the rest of the season. She was also a part of the regional and the state teams as well, so she will receive a letter. Lindsay Davenport. This was Lindsay's 4th and final year on the team. She competed in 8 tournaments this year and medaled individually in 3 of them, including the Ottawa Invitational, where she shot a 49 and the team took 1st place overall. She was part of both the regional and the state teams year as well, so she will receive a letter. And Riley Hedging, this year was Riley's fourth and final year on the team as well. She competed in 8 tournaments this year, medaling individually in 2 of them. Her best score was at our home meet where she shot a 48, which was just 1 stroke short of her PR. She was part of both the regional and the state team, so she will receive a letter this year. Okay. The last rewards that I want to give, I feel, carry a little bit more weight than the letters and the provisional letters do. At the end of the season, I asked the team members to nominate their teammates in categories that speak, I think, more volume than the scores that they might have obtained over the course of the season. The first award that I want to give is the Hardest Working Award. This award is given to the person who consistently puts in extra time and effort in order to have a good season. I can't agree more about who the team chose for this award. This golfer consistently worked outside of practice and would very often visit different courses on weekends in order to gain an advantage of any kind of our tournaments. Peyton Pitts is the recipient of this award. The second award is the Leadership Award. Leadership can come in lots of different forms, but this person, I feel, was nominated based on her drive to set a good example and use her experience on the team to help the others. The person receiving this award is Riley Hedging.